We took 3 ferries and 1 bus to get from southern Turkey, Fethiye, to the capital of Serbia, Belgrade, and it took us 3 days. This is part 1 of 3 parts.
We are leaving Fethiye, Turkey. That was our home. We stayed here for 7 weeks and 2 days. It's 6 a.m. and we are waiting for our taxi to take us to the limanı, the port, take a ferry to Rhodes. Next destination, Belgrade, Serbia. It is coming! Yay!
We were the first ones there, and unfortunately, every time we move, I am getting anxiety. Unfortunately, I didn't have my GABA handy, what I usually take for like minor anxiety and stuff, but luckily I found Pinabut that I usually only take for real panic attacks, but yeah, so I took a little bit of that. Fortunately, my anxiety was really the worst waiting for that first ferry, and I also got some pains in my stomach and colon and stuff, but then the rest of those 3 days traveling from Turkey to Belgrade were much better. So it was really the very beginning that was a bit brutal for me. Hi, I am Alin. I had a second pituitary gland tumor treated in Istanbul, Turkey with Gammamesser-Radiochirurgie. I made a 4-part series about that. Here is a video for the first part. Now I am living a nomad life with Paul, and we are living off of his retirement money, and we are traveling and living in very cheap countries in order to save money so we can pay back the debts from the surgery I had 3 years ago. The first ferry was small.
And let's go! The first ferry. We are leaving Fethiye, Turkey, and we are going to Rhodes, Greece. It should take about 2 hours. Ferry is pretty empty, so that is great.
I don't think I ever went into another country by boat, ferry, so it was really cool. It was so much better than with the airplane, but it was basically the same procedure. So you had to, of course, you had to show your ticket, your passport, and you had to put all your luggage on the belt to go through that x-ray machine, but everything was kind of smaller, I think, and you didn't have to take out anything from your bag. You didn't have to empty your pockets or take off your shoes or belt, and Paul even kept his fanny pack on, so everything was just so much easier. Oh, and of course, then you also go through that x-ray machine. When we arrived in Rhodes, there's basically the same procedure. Again, all the luggage goes through the x-ray machine, and you go through passport control, and hopefully you get a stamp. I only got the stamp that I got out of the country, that I left Turkey by boat, but I didn't get the stamp that I got into Greece. Paul got both stamps. Oh, and I took liquid water with us, and that was no problem to bring on a ferry, not like on airplanes. Yeah, it would be kind of weird not being allowed to bring water on a boat. Anyways, traveling by ferry, by boat, is so much easier.
We got to Greece, Rhodes, Rhodos.
In Rhodes, we had to wait about 5.5 hours for our next ferry. So I waited by the port while Paul went on a quest to buy cigars for himself and a mask with filter for me. Why? The night before we left Turkey, he saw a YouTube video. It was about a year old from a woman, and she said when she took the bus from Thessaloniki, Greece to Belgrade, Serbia, exactly the bus we want to take, despite smoking being prohibited on the bus, everyone was smoking. Everyone was smoking so badly. It scared me so much because I am very, very sensitive to smells and scents, especially cigarette smoke. I can't stand it at all, not in a closed space for that long. There's no way I'm going to survive that. No, I get nauseous, I get sick, that's really bad. So Paul had the idea to buy this mask with filter. So I was waiting for him, and he came back with the cigars and the mask for me with filters on it. So hopefully that will work on the bus. It was getting really hot, and I think it was more humid than in Fethiye, where we spent the last 7.5 weeks. Both Greece and Turkey got a heat wave at that time. So we had to change port. So with all our luggage, we were walking to the other port, and there was barely any shade and there was so much heat, but well, we made it. And there we just waited like semi outside by a restaurant for our next ferry. About an hour before departure, we could board the second ferry. That one was much bigger. Blue Star Ferry. Also cars and semi-trucks got in. About a 8.5-hour ride from Rhodes, Greece to Vathy, Greece. So we booked a cabin. Yes, we need some comfort for a 3-day move. And we are in our cabin. The second ferry we'll be taking. This one goes from Rhodes to Samos, Greece. So I have my own bed. Oh, I haven't had my own bed for so long. 4 beds and have a window. Cool. We're not moving yet. Here are the ladders. Even a TV. And oh, a shower. It's gonna be so nice. Take a shower. Paul already washed his hat. Toilet. Everything we need. It was so great. It was so nice to be able to take a shower, to have my own bed. Since we've left Reno, Nevada on March 30th, 2024, I haven't had my own bed anymore, so that was so cool. Well, of course, I still shared it with Mr. Top Sirloin and Tavuk. Oh, and by the way, those beds were so comfortable. Really, that was super nice. So, about the food, I looked it up. From a non-EU country, Türkiye, to a EU country, Greece, on a ferry, you're not allowed to bring any meat except canned, but you are allowed to bring hard-boiled eggs and apparently fish cooked or raw. So this is the food I brought with me for our trip. So this is the second ferry. We are already in Rhodes. I already ate 3 hard-boiled eggs. So I brought with me 14 hard-boiled eggs. Hard-boiled eggs you're allowed to take with you. No cooked meat though. I think cooked fish is also okay. Canned foods always great. And these are even really great because you can open them without the can opener that I would have. So here just tuna and water, 3 of those. Here I brought my salt, and here 5 of beef, and it's just beef and salt. Those are so delicious. And so this should be enough. Yeah, that's how I live as a carnivore when I travel. So on Friday, I ate a little bit of leftover ground beef in the morning before we left Fethiye, and then 4 hard-boiled eggs, 1 can of tuna, and 1 can of beef. This was the first part of my 3-part series about the move from southern Turkey, Fethiye, to Belgrade, Serbia. Subscribe here so you won't miss the second part that will come out soon. Bye. Stay happy, stay healthy.